He wanted to take a leak off the deck, but a loose sail nearly knocked him overboard. Luckily, he grabbed the railing just in time. Falling off a speeding yacht could easily get you killed by the propeller, so he fought to reposition himself, hooking his foot onto the deck. Once he found a foothold, he pulled himself back to the edge and finally escaped disaster. He slumped against the railing, gasping for air, taking a long time to calm down, but then a sharp pain hit his stomach, so he rushed into the cabin to find a bathroom. He made it to the cramped bathroom and took care of business, but then the door behind him suddenly swung shut on its own. He didn't think much of it, figuring it was just the sea breeze, but when he turned around, the window was closed. He realized it wasn't the wind, but he didn't dwell on it. He just opened the window for some fresh air, but when he tried to leave, the door wouldn't budge. He crouched down to check the lock, twisting the handle over and over, but it wouldn't move. He looked for a gap to work with, but the door was sealed too tight. After repeated attempts, he still couldn't get it open. Then he remembered the coin in his pocket. He pulled it out and tried to turn the lock, but that was wishful thinking. He opened the medicine cabinet looking for something useful. That's when he noticed a bloody handprint inside. He didn't think too much about it. He just grabbed a pair of scissors and tried to unscrew the lock. Strangely, the scissors fit the screw perfectly, but the lock seemed welded shut. No matter how hard he pried or twisted, nothing happened. Just as despair set in, he heard a rumbling outside. He looked out the window and saw a ship heading straight toward him with no sign of slowing down. He realized if he didn't stop his boat, they'd both be destroyed. Panicking, he opened the cabinet again and found a metal bottle. He started smashing it against the door handle. The ship kept getting closer. He hit it again and again, but the bottle was too light to do anything. In desperation, he tried kicking the door once, twice, but it still wouldn't move. Frantic, he stuck his arm out the window, waving his shirt wildly to signal for help. But the ship didn't seem to notice and kept its course. As collision seemed inevitable, he pressed his face against the window, trying to squeeze through to get their attention. But the frame was too narrow. His face was crushed against it, the pain unbearable, forcing him to scream and give up. Panic and despair washed over him. He forced himself to calm down and reached out the window again. In his frenzy, he accidentally grabbed a rope. He tested how tight it was, then tied a firm knot and threw it into the sea. His plan was to tangle the propeller and stop the boat. Luckily, the current carried the rope right into the propeller, but the rope tightened too fast. Before he could let go, it wrapped around his neck. Suffocation hit him instantly. Worse, his feet were dangling in the air. His vision started to black out and he nearly passed out. Fighting to stay conscious, he fumbled around on the deck. Finally, he found a hook. He used it to pry the rope loose, ignoring the pain twisting his face. After a desperate struggle, he escaped death once again. He collapsed on the ground, gasping for breath. Once he recovered, he realized the danger wasn't over. The momentum had caused a small collision between the boats. The impact knocked him unconscious. He didn't wake up until the ships had drifted far apart. The bad news was, even though the propeller had stopped, the boat had no anchor to hold it in place. It was drifting with the wind, far off his familiar route, heading into unknown waters. Even worse, the cabin had started leaking for no apparent reason. Seawater was pouring in through the cracks.